Hey ladies, I'm back. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my PCOS diagnosis and how that came to be. Destiny wants these videos to be about 3 to 7 minutes, so I'm going to go a little bit fast. I hope that's okay. When I was about 16 years old, I started getting bladder infections. It seemed like I had one every single week. And it sort of just went on that way for 2 years. Every month I was back at the doctor getting a few days of antibiotics. Well, more than a few days, like 14 days. When I was 18, it became debilitating to the point where I was spending most of my life in the tub, missing a lot of school. It was really hindering my life. So I went to my doctor and I asked him for a referral to a urologist. At the urologist, they told me I had a bladder disease called interstitial cystitis. And I was seen by several doctors for this. I had a case that didn't seem to respond to treatment. So this rocked on for about 4 years, really. I went to 6 doctors in this time, and I kept telling my husband, who I got married to a couple of years after that, I don't think that my bladder is the root of all evil. I think there is something causing this. I think that we need to be doing our research. So I switched from going to urologists to going to a gynecologist. And I went to see him a couple times. I really liked him. He was very educated, or he is very educated on interstitial cystitis, which is what my bladder condition is. About 2 months into seeing my doctor, I started looking into PCOS. My mother had PCOS when she was younger, and then she had hysterectomy, which of course cleared that up pretty much. And I found out that it was hereditary, and I told my husband and my mother, I think this is what's going on with me, and I think this is what's causing my bladder problems. Because while doing my research, I found that people with interstitial cystitis often had PCOS. And so I went to the doctor. I explained to him that, I was 22 years old. I had been trying to have a baby for 2 years at that point. I still had acne, worse than a teenager. I had gained a lot of weight. And if I was lucky if I saw my period once or twice a year. So he agreed to do the tests. We did the ultrasound to count the cysts on my ovaries, and we did the blood work. And about a week later, I got the call, yes, you have PCOS, let's handle this. Okay, sorry, I had to get my baby. So I went in to discuss treatment for PCOS, and my doctor just sort of leveled with me. He said, you are going to have to make lifestyle changes. This is not something that I can just give you a magic little pill to fix. I did, however, go on metformin, which for me was a lifesaver. I had been in bed for months at that point because of my bladder issue. It hurt to walk. It hurt to move, really. I was just in so much pain. So I went on metformin, and within 3 weeks of my first dose, I was back to normal. I was living a life. It was amazing. My bladder problems seemed to almost disappear. To this day, I still struggle with them slightly, but I haven't spent more than a day or two in bed since I was diagnosed with PCOS. Really, what I did is I found Destiny's channel. I picked out a diet, if you will. I like to call it a lifestyle, just to keep myself from feeling starved, because the minute I say the word diet, I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. But I picked out a diet that would fit my needs as an individual, and I started going to the gym 6 days a week. And I really threw myself into the gym. I am a housewife, and I had the ability to go to the gym whenever I needed to. I didn't have a child. It was very simple, and I loved going to the gym. It made me feel amazing. While you're working out, you're like, oh my God, I might die. And then, no, not really though. And then the next day or even an hour after you leave, you're just so energized and you can feel your body sort of rejuvenating, and it's amazing. PCOS for me was a journey that took a long time. It took a long time to reach my destination, which was diagnosis. I had a lot of people tell me I was crazy and that I was making things up and that I wasn't sick and that it was just normal to feel the way I felt. And I knew that it wasn't. And I knew while I might have this bladder disease, that is not the problem. There is something else causing this. And it was trying to get somebody to listen to me, going to 6 different doctors, trying to get them to hear me, was really hard. It gets to the point where sometimes you go home from those appointments and you're sitting there wondering, am I crazy? Or is there something really wrong with me? Getting that diagnosis was like the clouds parting. It was beautiful. I wanted to hug my doctor's neck. It was just, nobody ever enjoys being told they have something chronic, but I did. I was so happy when I got that diagnosis because I knew that it was a light at the end of the tunnel. I knew that there was something that could be done at this point, and there was a reason for me feeling the way I felt. I think I'm going to wrap this up because I've hit that 3 to 7 minute timeline, but in the next video I'll probably talk a little bit about infertility and those obstacles and how I got my baby. Infertility in itself is a topic that needs its own video, so I didn't want to get too far into that today. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. My son is saying goodbye too, so we will see you in the next video. Bye!